Good afternoon, my darlings. How are you doing? I've got an update from Karmicville. Look at this. I've had 2 hours sleep in 2 days. Why, Zoe? Why? Why would that be? When you drink your water and mind your own business and keep to yourself, live a quiet life, what on earth could possibly warrant you having only 2 hours sleep in 48 hours? Well, let me tell you. So, for the last year, in March 2023, I moved to Bed-Stuy. And get a cup of tea, because this is going to be a story. Pause the video, get your cup of tea, come back, get biscuits if you need them. To add a bit of sweetness to the sourness that this story is. Anyway, March, I moved to Bed-Stuy, right? To begin my new life. My humble new beginnings. My self-love tour. Blah, blah, blah. Blase, blase, blase. Anyway, I didn't have many options because it's just what it was. And I was going to be homeless, so I was lucky to get the apartment that I got. So obviously, I jumped at it, right? Because it was a place to live. Now, the agent who showed me that property said that the people downstairs were problem tenants and they were being evicted. And I was like, oh, whoosh, okay. And the day I moved in, a tenant from an apartment above me, I didn't have the code to get in the door, right? So I politely asked her for the code for the door. She's one of these people who's just like, she's got like a demon entity attached to her, you can tell. She's one of those people that doesn't smile, hates people who smiles. Just got a lot of negative, low vibration energy. You know what I'm saying? You know the type. Anyway, she was so offended that I asked her for anything. She was offended that I said hello. She was offended that I smiled at her. She was especially offended that I asked her for the code to get in the door. Because she didn't give it to me, she just punched it in, and it's like, well, I'm moving shit, so I need the code to be able to get in and out the door. Anyway, she eventually gave me the code. But from that point onwards, she decided that I was, I don't know what she decided, that I was some nasty, low-life piece of work, I guess. Anyway, as a spiritualist is wont to do, when I moved in, I saged my new home, right? I got to get rid of the energies of previous tenants, previous whatever happened in that space. I had to cleanse it spiritually. So I saged the place. Then I got a complaint from the landlord about excessive incense. Bear in mind, right, this block stunk of marijuana, stunk of cigarette smoke, stunk of lots of things. And it's like, you what? You're going to have a pop off at me for incense? No, I'm not having it. So I explained to the landlord that there wasn't any clause in my lease regarding the use or not of incense. And I said, I think it's a personal, you know, it's part of my spiritual practice, so I'm not going to not do it. And I'm entitled to light incense in an apartment I pay a lot of money for every month. And there's nothing in the lease to say that I can't, so I will use incense. And from that point onwards, a campaign was launched against me from that woman who's friends with the woman downstairs in the basement. Anyway, she got evicted, the one upstairs. Quite a lot of them were getting evicted apparently, because they wanted to hike the rents, obviously. And she got evicted. So I never saw her face again, but I know she's friends with the woman who lives below me, right? Because they were thick as thieves. So the woman downstairs decided to launch a campaign against me of noise, harassment, and general fuckery, which over time escalated. Which, to be honest, I didn't pay a lot of attention to it because I was travelling a lot. in the summer months, right? So I wasn't actually there that much. But it all went up a notch in autumn, right? It got really like, she was being violent with it. Like, I think she's got a little bit of a mental health issue going on. She's definitely obsessed with me. She's obsessed with trying to get in my energy. She's obsessed with trying to keep me awake all night, every night. And she would play this really loud, like play it really badly as well. And the guy upstairs, he's apparently a musician in a band, but he never gets past 2 chords, ever. It's the same 2 chords for a year. Anyway, whatever, each to their own. So I'm just like, I live in my headphones anyway, right? So most of the time I can shut it off, yada yada, get on with my life. I'm not looking for beef. But as I say, it started to like really escalate. And then my dad died. Then I was like grieving. And it's like, and you can hear everything that happens. There's no soundproofing in this apartment block, right? So I can hear them whispering, and also I'm clairaudience. I've got really, really strong senses of the ears. I hear very sensitively. So I can hear them whispering, I can hear them talking, I can hear her on the phone, I can hear her fart, I can hear her, whatever the fuck they're up to in any of the apartments around me. I can hear it. Am I complaining all day about it? No. No, I'm not. I'm just dealing with it. But she has taken huge umbrage to the fact that I like to take baths, right? Because the plumbing in this building is terrible, obviously. So it's really noisy, like all the pipes bang and whoop when you turn a tap on. And the water pressure's all fucked up, so it's really loud when it comes out. But that's not my fault, that's the landlord's business, do you know what I mean? I've complained to the landlord about all the noise issues without singling out a particular tenant until recently. The landlord refuses to do anything, obviously get involved in tenant disputes. I don't regard it as a tenant dispute, I just at the time I regarded it as a quality of life, and you know, I'm entitled to like peaceful enjoyment of the home I'm in, right? Anyway, it went past peaceful enjoyment into like actual harassment, do you know what I mean? It was just obvious, deliberate harassment targeted at me specifically. So she would be fucking sweeping her ceiling in the middle of the night. Blah, blah, blah. Then she would like put a speaker up to her ceiling and like blast shit through the ceiling, and she like knocks on the ceiling with a fucking broom or something. I don't know, she's crazy. She's like scraping it. It's all very obvious and deliberate, right? And then in January, and also, sidebar, she called my phone, right, in the summer. I can hear her voice, I know her voice, and I've also spoken to her, so I know it was her. She called me pretending to be from AT&T customer services, trying to get some information off of my bill. Like more than once she did this. And then I had 3 months worth of my utility bills, my gas and electric, go missing. I hadn't yet put all of this together, right? All these things happened. Then I got a weird like alert on my credit file that my social security number had been used, and I looked it up and it was an address in Brooklyn in Manhattan Beach, and I was like, what the fuck? And my data had been leaked on the dark web as well. I'm attributing all of this to her. Bear with me for a second. Then it transpires that other posts in the building and parcels had been stolen, I was told, by another tenant, and that they'd been seen going into that apartment. Then there was this whole furor about trying to get hold of the CCTV, which doesn't seem to record anything, and the landlord keeps lying about, because also there's a tenant in the building who has access to the CCTV. How is that even legal? There's also an ex-employee of the management company that still has access to the CCTV, and yet the managing agents don't have access to the CCTV. Like, what the fuck? The managing agents didn't even know that there was a new security camera in the laundry room downstairs. So I'm like, well, who put that in? If you didn't do it, who put it in and who's watching it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what is going on in this place? Anyway, come January, and partly, well, to be honest, in December I started, well, for a few months, right, during winter, I got the sense that I was being watched and followed, right? And then I had all of this confirmed in January, like literally, I was being gang stalked. I've got videos of it, I've got pictures, I've got images of the people, you know, yada, yada, yada. And they're obviously friends of this fucking weirdo. So I'm being gang stalked, right? My poster's being stolen, I'm being harassed by noise. And I tried to tell the police about it, and they're like, well, they basically wouldn't let me report it. They're like, just call us when she's doing it. And it's like, well, I've been literally calling you 24/7, like all day, every day. Like, what do you mean? I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the time for that. And I'm certainly not, you know, I mean, I'm not going to waste energy on like being focused on this problem with this person, because that's what she wants, right? And then I realised what they were doing is they're trying to either, they're trying to stop me from being able to work, or they're either that or they're trying to deteriorate my mental health and my physical and emotional and spiritual health, like all of it, right? Because they're trying to deprive me of sleep, they're trying to deprive me of peace, and obviously I can't work in that environment, so it's really affected my work for the last, especially the last 6 months. And and a different neighbour called the police on her. Interestingly, all of that conversation was in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, but I understood quite a lot of it. And it was apparent that she was like making this noise as revenge against me. And I'm like, revenge for what? Everything I do is during like normal hours. I'm doing normal things. It's like, you know, and I'm not deliberately trying to attack this person anyway. But she's convinced that I'm personally attacking her, and I've heard her say this on the phone. Like when she's drunk, she turns up a notch. So I heard her on the phone threatening me to her mate, or speaking in a threatening way about me and my safety, my personal safety, and what she's going to do to me, and yada yada yada. All of this is completely made up, by the way, because I'm not doing anything to her. Classic example of when your light triggers somebody's demons. This is a great example of this. I've literally done nothing to this woman apart from smile at her and pet her dog when I saw her. And so now what's happened, so I upped my complaints to the landlord and tenant. I actually had to go and rent an Airbnb for a month in February because I needed to sleep and I needed to work. And so I had to pay rent twice for that month, right? In a season of not much work and not much sleep or peace to be able to work. And I came back from that, obviously, in the beginning of March, late February, and it all seemed to die down a bit, or quite substantially. And then all of a sudden it's kicked up again. But now she's being like much more clever with it, because she's making noise that only I can hear. Do you know what I mean? So it's like Chinese water torture. And the extra hilarious bit is like she records me like running a bath. She's doing that because I recorded the sound of the trumpet because it was so egregiously loud. I recorded it as proof to the landlord that like this is how loud this is, right? And I played it back one day in the middle of the day so that everybody who's making that much noise is aware of how much noise they're making. Bit of a karmic move, but you know, I never said I was healed. Healing in progress, work in progress always. But I had to get my lick back a little bit, you know what I mean? Anyway, I have since stopped any karmic returns because it's like I just handed it over to God. But so now she's doing it, it's like psychological torture. It's like fucking MK Ultra, or like those, you know, when Masons do that slow torture on people. What's the word for that? They've got a special word for it. But it's giving MK Ultra, do you know what I mean? It's like energetic disturbance and psychological disturbance. It's like the details of it are too much because it's been going on for a year. So it's hard to fit it into a short nifty video, so this is probably going to take more than a video. But anyway, this is where I'm at now. She's carrying on, and she never answers the door, obviously, when I try to speak to her about this. And this is all linked. So she's like, why are you stealing my mail if not to do something surreptitious with it, right? She's blatantly posted my personal information all over the dark web because I haven't stopped being spammed with calls and emails since the summer. So she's breaking a load of federal laws, but I've got no proof of any of this, right? And so she waits because I go to bed early. I go to bed at 9, if I can, or 10. And so she'll wait till exactly 9 o'clock, and she can hear me go into my bedroom because all the floors creak and all that, right? So she knows where in the apartment I am, and she follows me around the apartment downstairs, making noise wherever I am. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the equivalent of somebody being like, oh, she's in the kitchen, bang pots and pans. Oh, she's in here, bang, you know, bang this, bang that, whatever's underneath the room I'm in or the space I'm in. It's really psychotic. It's really psychotic. I mean, I have to laugh about it because it's so absurd. But anyway, so she starts at 9 o'clock, and then it builds and builds and builds, and then it will quiet down, and then it will go back up again at like midnight. So between midnight and 4, she's on it, like non-stop. And if I go from my bedroom to the living room or any other place to try and find a quiet space to sleep, like the noise follows wherever I go. And so this is why I currently have bags under my eyes, because I've got to the point where it's actually really hard to get any sleep. I mean, I'm meditating through it, I'm praying through it and all of that. And I have now reported it to tenant mediation services because I mean, I don't know what they can do about it, if anything. And I'm probably going to have to report her to the feds at this point because, you know, and I might even have to stop paying rent because I'm going to have to rent another place again probably really soon because this obviously can't go on. Like, I can't live without sleep and I can't work without sleep. And yet I do. I'm still trying to show up every day, still trying to do my shit, still trying to run my business. And this is the kind of bullshit that I have to deal with. Anyway, there you go. And I happen to think this is all linked to a much bigger conspiracy because I'm regarding the people in this building as part of a coven at this point because they're all in on it. Because if it's not her downstairs, it's like they tag team upstairs and downstairs. Tag teaming. And the other people in the apartment, like everyone lies about everything. So it's really weird. It's like, it's so bizarre. It's like God always puts me in the most toxic environments. To like, I don't know why. To even out the energy somehow, I don't know. Or maybe to expose the energy, I guess that's why, because God knows that I'll tell the truth and speak out about bullshit. This is why I'm speaking out about bullshit. So what's the point of all of this? A, to explain why I've been inconsistent in the last week or weeks with my appearances. And B, to see like maybe if anybody is or knows a landlord and tenant lawyer in New York and can help me with my legal rights or civil rights in this situation, because it seems incomparable to me that there isn't some kind of action available to me. But yeah, Coco the Clown is fucking crazy. She's trying to destroy my mental health and my life. And I know some people are going to say that it sounds paranoid, but I have good... Oh, also, someone has been coming into my apartment. I came home one day and the screws at the back of the lock of my front door were all out. And the maintenance guy's like, oh, that could happen just from slamming the door. I'm like, no, it fucking couldn't. They were screwed in tightly, like so fucking tight. It took them 2 weeks to change my locks after I told them about that. And even since then, I have found other people's hair in my apartment. I don't have visitors, I don't have guests, I protect, my apartment is a sanctuary, right? Energetically, I keep people out. Nobody comes into that apartment, and I don't hang out with people generally, I'm a loner. And I found these long strands of hair in my apartment last week. And it's like, whose fucking hair is this? Right? And then another day I come in and there's like jars on my kitchen around my sink. You know, like I've got jars with pasta in or rice or whatever up against the splashback. You know, one of the jars was on its side. Like, it's impossible that it could have fallen over. It was placed on its side to be like, hi, haha, I can get into your apartment energy. Do you know what I mean? And also my laundry's been fucked with as well, because so now I have to stand by my laundry during being washed and dried, which obviously sucks 2 hours out of my day. Because for 3 weeks in a row I've done my laundry and like blue ink or something has been put into my laundry to destroy my clothes. Like in a whitewash, do you know what I mean? And she left a little calling card. She left like pink glitter hearts in my in the dryer door. Again, it's like it's that poking the bear energy. It's like, haha, look, you can't catch me. Look at all this fucking fucked up shit I'm doing to you, and you can't catch me. Which I can't, because they keep saying that the CCTV doesn't work. Anyway, what a life. So much drama. Anyway, I'm navigating all of that right now. So, it's a lot. And I'm exhausted, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to have to move again, which is putting me in a very tricky situation. But, you know, I'll figure it out. Or God will. God has literally been coming to the rescue for a whole year. Leading me to the evidence, no less. All this fucking weird karmic bullshit that's been going on. Anyway, as I say, it's part of a bigger plot that I don't really go into, but if you're following me on TikTok, you would have seen something of it. Because my phone's been being tapped as well, and I've been hacked. And it's all connected. And it's all to do with money. So it's connected to either somebody using my social security to take loans out, or start some business. I don't know what they're doing. The details of that I'm not sure about. Or life insurance or something. But it's like they're really trying to take me out, you know? Going all in. And I say they because there's 3 of them downstairs. And also they should have been evicted by the end of March. And on the 1st of April, like, the agents just keep lying to me about it. It's just like, because I asked to be moved to a different property in February. And they were like, oh, she's leaving by the end of March, she's been evicted. End of March comes, it's like, oh, well, she said she was leaving. It's like, is she being evicted or not? Like, is this a game? Can I do this? Can I play this game where I don't pay rent and I just get to live here harassing everybody in the building who is paying rent? A lot of it. Like, what the fuck? So she's like happy as Larry in her weird obsessive psychosis, sociopath behaviour. And I'm not quite happy as Larry, but I'm doing my best to maintain a high frequency in very trying circumstances. But it's costing me money. It's not costing her any money. Anyway, divine justice will of course work its way out in the end. But I just needed to offload that because it's like, whew, it's a lot. Anyway, like I said, praying through it, meditating through it, I'm waiting for God to send a miracle to get me out of it. Because at this point, it's probably what it's going to take. How's everything with you? Oh, sending you strength, courage and wisdom. Lots of love. Bye.